Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Beyond the Brush, The Art of Algorithm. In the last episode, we covered the legality of AI-generated art and the AI process in general. If you haven't seen it yet, click on the link in the description below and take a look. Similarly, you can find any works referenced down below as well. Today, we will be going over some of the ethical and moral arguments that have been posed for and against AI art. Just because creating silly little images using AI is fun and legal doesn't mean it's ethical. So, what are the ethical debates over AI art? There are a few ethical points that are the most debated over in regards to AI art in general: algorithmic bias, data extraction, and environmental impact. For algorithmic bias, AI models are only as good as the data that is being fed to them, which means the data that is out and about that the general public has. However, humans in their work inherently tend to have bias, which brings up the issue of possibly perpetuating stereotypes or bias. For data extraction, AI models, in order to be able to learn and actually work, need large databases of pre-existing data, images in this case, to learn from. However, using artists' work without consent poses the issue of artistic exploitation. And lastly, for environmental impact, large-scale AI art generation demands significant computational power, raising concerns about sustainability. These 3 points added together have a lot of people debating over whether AI-generated artwork is still even worth it. This brings up the question of how can AI-generated art exist while still being ethical? How can AI-generated art still exist while being ethical? There are hot debates whether or not AI-generated art is able to exist while being ethical. However, there are some things that can be done to try and improve this process. First one is consent and credit. Avoid using artist styles without permission or acknowledgement. Number 2, transparency. Be clear about how AI tools are trained and what data they use. Number 3, address bias. Actively mitigate algorithmic biases to support fair and diverse representation. Number 4, sustainability. Consider the ecological footprint of AI systems and strive for energy conscious practices. And number 5, embrace ethical tension. Let AI art that embodies moral contradictions serve as a catalyst for reflection. Don't hide its flaws, but use them as a creative opportunity. AI-generated art as it is now has its pitfalls, and there are many parts that can be improved. These improvements don't just fall on the AI companies themselves, but on the government and those who vote for the regulations surrounding AI-generated art. Let's take a look at how the art community has responded. What are your opinions on AI-generated artwork? Why?
I don't like AI-generated artwork because it is not as authentic as human artwork. Humans also train based off of data and they reference images, but they have a perception of those images that shape their creations and their artwork that makes it more authentic. And that authenticity is what makes AI-generated artwork different. You can clearly see in its artwork, it's soulless. It usually just copies someone else's artwork without their permission. And honestly, when I see it in ads, it just looks cheap.
So my opinion of AI art is that it's definitely not a good thing, ethically speaking. First of all, AI art just steals the work of other artists without giving them any credit, which just hurts real artists and their craft. It's really unfair to those artists who work so hard on their pieces to just get absolutely no credit for their efforts. And just in general, I think the beauty of art lies in the process of creating it and not the end result. To me, there's not really any value in AI art because it kind of robs us of the beautiful human aspect of art, which is just the time spent creating it.
Question 2. Has AI-generated artwork impacted you personally in any way?
The effect of AI-generated content on the older generation is crazy because my parents will constantly talk about how my design work can just be replaced with an AI in the future, and it honestly makes it feel very invalidating, and it makes me angry. Also, it makes it feel like the world does not appreciate art as much as I thought it used to. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that AI generated artwork has impacted me specifically yet, but as someone who does enjoy creating art, it definitely does worry me. I am concerned about the possibility that AI might just be taking my art and the art of other people and using them in other pieces without giving me or anyone else any credit, so it's definitely a concern there, but I haven't been directly impacted yet.
Question 3. Do you think there's any way for AI generated art to coexist with artists?
My gut answer to this question is no, because if you're going to create AI art, you should just do it yourself. If you're going to use it as a reference, you should just find the original reference. But if I were to think of the only way to coexist, I think you could use it to make specific details better. I think you could use it as a tool to make techniques and textures and strokes of like lines better, but I don't think it should be used to create like whole pictures and replace artists.
Personally, not completely certain that there is a way for AI generated artwork to coexist with the real art made by real people. But I think if that were to happen, then I think firstly that AI should definitely be more transparent about the art pieces that it uses and offer credit to real artists, get artist permission and such, just to make it more ethical and sound. And just in general, especially considering the environmental impact of AI, which is definitely a concern to the world in general, I think that would have to be dealt with as well. I think we'd have to find ways to make AI just like more environmentally friendly. And then I think there's a possibility for AI generated art to coexist with real art.
Now that we have explored the moral and ethical dilemmas of AI generated art, some ways that AI art can be made more ethical, as well as some real-life testimonies from artists, do you as viewers have any thoughts? Follow along with our next episode in the series Beyond the Brush, The Art of Algorithm, where we wrap up the series on AI-generated art, as well as where I share some of my opinions on the matter. Please leave your thoughts and comments down below. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you next time!